Hello, and welcome to the Disability Myth. My name is Dominic, and I live with a fatal disease called spinal muscular atrophy. Together, my amazing caretaker, co-host, and best friend, Uriel, and I plan to debunk misconceptions, share our personal experiences, and shatter your expectations. But we're not stopping there. We're bringing in experts, thought leaders, and everyday people who are smashing through societal barriers, paving the way for a more inclusive world. Whether you're tuning in to learn, empathize, or simply to be entertained, the show promises to be an eye-opening experience that transcends boundaries. Because when it comes down to it, what makes us different is what makes us extraordinary.
Oh my God. Welcome back to another.
I'm not even gonna try and do that voice. Welcome back to another episode of the Disability Myth. I'm, of course, your handsome, your humble, and your
Abby.
damn handy host, Dominic Trevathan. And alongside me, as always,
Handsome.
the
Humble.
equally handsome, humble, and
Abby.
Uriel.
Oh gosh.
How are you doing today, Darth
Oh,
Vader?
pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Oh gosh. Life's a little crazy.
Yeah, how so?
Um, Midterms are kicking my ass. That's okay. Perpetually in study mode. You know, I haven't seen the light of day in a week. You know, that's not true, but I'm not being dramatic. But it's just crazy. I know you in radio, right? You want to tell the people about the radio
Oh yeah, no, I've just been
radio
working
show?
on radio programs for KPFA's program called Pushing Limits.
Could you repeat that?
KPFA's Pushing Limits
Located.
in Oakland, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, we host a program. We have a rotation of hosts that do different types of programs regarding disability awareness, and we rotate every week usually. So I'm kind of getting that starting role at the first week of the month. So
Yeah.
you can catch me first week of every month on KPFA's Pushing Limits at 2:30 p.m. every other Friday.
And we got some of our stuff on there as well, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have our episode that we did with Sarah
Oh
Rodriguez.
yeah.
That's chopped up into a radio program, and it came out really good. And I sound even cooler on radio. So
Do you? It's like, oh, I can't even do
I
it. Like
hit
all
him.
dark.
I hit him with the old hello. This is
Hi.
Dominic Trevathan, and you're listening to KPFA's Pushing Limits, the show brought to you by people with disabilities about people with disabilities.
Hell yeah, dude.
Get all sexy with it.
Real traps. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, forgive our foolishness. But yeah, I think before we kind of get into today's episode, we would like to thank everyone for listening to us break down the misconceptions that we have so far on the podcast. It feels like we've covered so much ground this season and in such a short amount of time, you know?
Oh God, when did season two start? When did we start it? Like November?
No, it wasn't that long ago.
Oh my
It was I think we first aired like early January,
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I think you're right. Wow.
and we just
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
been
yeah, yeah.
pumping out episodes every week trying to get more consistent.
Yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, because I remember we started the week before my winter break ended,
Yeah,
right?
that's when we started recording, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow.
So it's been a hell of a run, covered a lot of ground. But as we mentioned with Sophia, there's always more work to be done. And with that being said, before we take a little break to kind of rejuvenate ourselves and focus on the future in season
Oh
three,
gosh, yeah.
we figured we'd just do another little breakdown, a summary of some of our memories from this season. So we hope you enjoy it,
Oh yeah.
and we are thankful for you for listening to us talk about
Couple of
nonsense.
goofballs.
Yeah.
Not nonsense. We're out here advocating. We're out here saying stuff that, doesn't come up often in regular conversation,
Hell yeah.
and I think there's a place for it, you know.
Hell yeah.
We are I don't know what I'm saying.
Just rambling.
I am rambling. I, a week before winter break ended, we got dogs and disability, which was pretty rad.
Yeah, that was fun. That was
Pretty
honestly one
rad.
of my favorite
Pretty rad.
recordings that we did. Um, the myth for that episode was people, it was a two-parter, I think, actually. People with disabilities are unable to take care of their pets, and the relationships that they have with their pets aren't as deep compared to, you know, able-bodied pet owners per se. And so that was the myth that we talked about with Sarah Rodriguez. And yeah, that was really fun. We learned a lot. She taught us a lot. Like I was just kind of shook at her like amount of information that she had and her knowledge, and she was just a really cool person.
I'm just grateful to sit down with a professional dog trainer and ask her
Yeah,
all my little silly questions.
it,
You know?
it's not an opportunity that comes up every day.
No,
But yeah, so we had a great time with Sarah. We learned a lot. She taught us about shaping. She taught us about how sensitive, I recall how sensitive dogs' necks are. And
very.
she advocated for creams. It's not just a thing for humans. Dogs can wear creams too,
Ointments, yeah, yeah,
ointments.
always. Yeah.
So yeah, no, that was really fun. Learned a lot.
Oh yeah, especially because dogs are constantly smelling, so like tugging on them with a collar isn't necessarily good for them. I
Right.
believe it gives them anxiety.
And
Um,
she taught us about positive reinforcement, taught us about all the acronyms of the certifications she has,
and
which is a long list.
she debunked the dog whisperer. I always knew that was kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
Like that's
the
crazy. Like,
Alpha Bro training.
what I feel like that's a surefire way to get bit, and get your little furry friend taken away from you.
Yeah,
Right? There's like no way. There's no way.
yeah. No, she shed a lot of light on stuff that we wouldn't hear otherwise. Specifically, like what sticks out to me is that pit bulls get the bad rap, right? That they're not so dangerous as media makes them out to be.
No, they're silly billies.
Yeah,
That's little silly billies, little butthead. They
right,
got that separation in their
right,
skull,
right.
You just want to pet
And
them.
there's a lot of things that pet owners can do to kind of make their pets more comfortable and more at ease around them as well. So
Well, yeah, I'm always for spreading awareness and information for our little furry friends, right?
yeah,
Because like, yeah, I'd want to do the best for them.
I think you do the best for me.
Oh, stop, bro. You make me blush. Hey, wait, yo, wait.
Hey,
Wait a minute. Hold up.
so yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. Even the stuff that she taught us about the accessible device or assistive
Yeah,
devices,
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
dispensers, it's really cool stuff.
I should get one of those.
You know, why?
Huh? Oh, put some trail mix in it.
Some chill.
When I passed by, it dispenses trail mix.
It has like a mode where it just dispenses the M&Ms.
Um, You want to say that on air, dude? I mean, you get that 3D printer and like design it ASAP, right? You're patent it. It gets a snack dispenser that separates the snack like a chest mix.
We
Oh
need
my
an
gosh.
electrician and a programmer
Oh
stat.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. I ran off topic, dogs. I'm sorry. Oh God.
It's all
Yeah.
right. We can get a little silly, get a little goofy. It's okay once in a while to get a little off topic.
No silly Billy mode.
It's good for our mental health. And speaking of mental health,
Oh, yikes.
the next episode
Oh
we talked about disability and mental health and kind
yeah.
of their intersections.
No, this is the two of us, I believe.
Yeah, just the two of us.
Oh, hold up. I don't want to get banned for like copyrights, like strike for
We
that
talked
song.
about that one episode last season.
Did we?
Yeah,
About
on the
getting
control
copy.
episode, I remember we were arguing about who wrote that song.
Was it not Bill Withers?
It was
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
for disability and mental health, the myth that we talked about was that misconception that if you live with a disability, you must also be depressed, which, as I kind of hope we broke down in that episode, is not true.
It's what
There's
you
a,
make of it, man.
it's what you make of it.
You
There's a
know?
lot that happens to everybody on a daily basis that can cause depression, lead to depression, uh, cause people to be upset. And it's a lot more nuanced of a topic than just, oh, I'm in a wheelchair, therefore I'm sad.
Yeah. Oh gosh. And we could even bleed this a little bit with that K episode that we did.
Yeah,
You
that's a
know,
good point.
where it's having that support group, and if you have a lack of one, just finding a community, something, that brightens up your day makes
Yeah,
a big difference. And it's a hard subject to talk about because when you're going through it, any piece of advice it just kind of glances off of you because you're just, at your worst.
yeah,
And like you only have negative thoughts clouding your mind, and it's so hard to like take in, you take in all this advice, but then it doesn't apply to me, not that won't work. And it's, I've experienced a little bit of that. You as well, right? When
oh
you're
yeah,
just in it, it's like, oh, it's hard.
yeah. No,
You
I'm
know.
sure I've shared this before, but when I was 13 and I had my spinal fusion surgery, that was like I was clinically depressed on those days when I was recovering because
Hospital setting doesn't help either.
yeah,
Oh gosh.
what sucks about being in a hospital is not only like are you stuck in the hospital, but you get woken up every 2 hours.
By what? The
The
nurse?
nurses for like some hoopla, whether it's blood pressure,
What?
taking, your vitals, flipping you over in the bed so you don't get sores on your ass, all that good
Uh,
stuff. So besides all that though, my experience in the hospital after that surgery was really tough because before that, I had never had an operation in my life. And besides my SMA, I had real no health complications. But following that initial spinal fusion surgery, I lost my ability to breathe on my own and I needed to be ventilated. Um, and they, because of that, put in my tracheostomy that you can
mm,
see here. I'm wiggling it.
like,
Not,
were you aware of that going into it? Like you were gonna get the trach and all that?
not at all. Not at all.
Oh man.
Not at all.
Oh
I
man.
thought it was just going to be like, oh, surgery, recover for a few weeks, go home. But yeah, I ended up being hospitalized for I think 3 months roughly.
Yikes. Yeah.
So fun times, but got through it and I'm better for it.
Yeah. Because it's a hard topic, especially we've been touched upon how I mean, you've lived your whole life with a disability, but it's for us, for the two of us, it's hard we can em emphasize
Mhm.
or empathize, sorry. Yeah.
Empathize. Yeah,
Empathize.
yeah.
Yeah, my bad. With others, but to be newly paralyzed,
Hmm.
that's I can't even, we've had guests that have experienced it, but it's oh gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's the closest I've come to it, I think. Because like I said, I had never had a trach before. I never had a G
Mm.
tube before. I don't know if many people know this because I probably don't talk about it, but I do have like a
It's off
stomach tube
camera.
in my tummy.
Yeah.
And so I don't use it very often, but it's there. And I got it put in initially after my surgery because I couldn't swallow anything. I couldn't eat anything.
Mm.
For 2 months, I didn't have solid food. And that was a big reason I think when I was clinically depressed too.
Yeah, man. No pizza.
Yeah.
No pizza.
I was
Bummer, bro.
the biggest thing, I was thirsting for Coke. I just wanted a soda or something.
No.
I had the worst dry mouth possible, like ever imaginable. My mouth just felt like cotton, and I wasn't even high.
Mhm. What they give you, just like ice chips and like water.
Ice chips,
Yeah.
but it was very sketchy because they thought I would choke. And so they were very hesitant to even give me ice chips.
Oh,
So one of my nurses, I had this really, really cool nurse
mhm.
that I don't know if anyone's familiar with. They have in hospitals a special type of what they call toothbrush. And it's just like a stick, like a little thick lollipop stick kind of.
Okay.
And on the end of it, it has a sponge and it sucks up like Listerine, whatever, like dental care product.
Okay.
And they use that to brush your teeth. So what she did was she would dip it into like a thing of Coke or soda or whatever.
Oh, what a G.
Yeah. And I'd be like, oh, you're the best, dude.
Okay. I don't know if that's like allowed, but like we won't say the hospital just in case. Because I don't know what the repercussions are for just dipping medical equipment in like soda.
It came in like disposable plastic bags. It's not like a
Oh,
huge
all
deal.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I guess it's all that stuff's crazy.
But yeah,
But yeah,
getting back to the topic. Depression is a beast that a lot of people deal with, and we're by no means qualified to, you know, give advice on how to deal with it.
yeah, everybody deals with it in their own way.
Yeah,
The best advice is just you're not alone. Please reach out, no matter how hard it is,
yeah.
just do it, just
Our
don't be,
DMs are always open. You can always reach out to us on Insta. I'm willing to talk to you. We're we're homies.
and then like, it's hard, it's hard to find the motivation, but like one step at a time,
One
reach out.
step.
Hey, or
Hey,
one roll, one rotation, one RPM.
one RPM. Come on, bro. It's a disability podcast. It's a disability podcast, bro. It's 2024, bro.
Um, one pace, one rotation. How about would you say?
I don't know.
One click?
One click. Yes, Sergeant. I was playing too much
One,
Helldivers.
one click. Um, you know, like finding the motivation just to like reach out, DM someone, or find a community with like other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And moving on.
Well,
Next week we talk
Giga Chad Steve.
Giga Chad
Giga Chad
Steve.
Steve for dude, that dude benches that dude deadlift. That dude's
Yeah.
I've been following him on Instagram. That dude's ripped. He's
Yeah.
yoked.
Yeah. He makes me feel like even more of a toothpick than I already do.
Bro, he's such a cool guy, dude.
Really cool guy. We got to meet him in Santa Barbara. Uriel took me down to meet him and hang out and pick his brain. So that was really fun after we did our episode.
He was there with his mom too. His
Mhm.
mom's really cool too.
Yeah, they're really cool people.
Yeah, shout out to Steve Ferreira.
Yeah. Yeah, with
Um,
him we talked about businesses and this idea that people with disabilities are unable to run their own businesses and just work in general, I think. So he was kind of like the perfect person to prove that misconception wrong. He goes around and speaks to a bunch of different schools. He's done the TED Talk. He is kind of the embodiment of, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. And, he has that will. He has his own business. You can go check him out. Um, Beyond Disabilities. And yeah, can't praise Steve enough. He's a real cool guy.
he inspired you for sure because he does public speaking,
Yeah,
and that's something you've always, well, you do, but it's something you want. I mean, you do it, yeah.
yeah,
You might doubt yourself at times, but I believe in you. It's just, with the radio and all the stuff on your plate,
yeah, for sure.
it's just reaching out, but you've always wanted to do some sort of public speaking model like he does.
Yeah, no,
And like it was really cool for you to like hang out with him and be like, yo,
for sure, for sure.
you know,
And he bought me a Starbucks drink, so that was cool.
did he?
Yeah, we had a
Oh, that's right. I asked
we
for a
met up at
water, I
that coffee
think.
shop.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. I asked for a water because I'm lame.
because you're hydrated, because you're a healthy human being.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Speaking of water, I got water right here, bro.
Hey,
Yeah.
gotta stay hydrated. Damn, son.
Hydration check.
All right. And speaking of Giga Chads.
Yuli.
We followed up Steve with another amazing,
Back
absolute
to back
goat,
sports. Yeah.
absolute goat, my friend Yuli. And Yuli was on our episode talking about power soccer. I was very proud of this title. I thought it was genius that I came up with this. Talking with a national soccer champion, not clickbait.
Not clickbait. Wow.
Not clickbait. I thought that was pretty.
It's not.
It's not.
It's
It's not.
not.
It's not. But yeah,
With
Yuli's
LA Galaxy too.
yeah, LA Galaxy Power Soccer Club. Go check them out. They have an Instagram, LA Galaxy PSC. You can go check them out. They record, I think, pretty much all their exhibitions, their games. Yeah, it was really fun talking to Yuli about his experience playing power soccer. He told us about his experience, winning the national title, as the name suggests. So yeah, that was really fun.
It's really cool to get um athletes all up in
Hmm.
the mix because like as you stated right there, we had Steve the week before
Hmm.
and then Yuli and that was like really
Two very
cool.
different athletes, but still
Yeah,
very kind of on point with their sports and their regimens, their routines. Um,
I'm a sucker for passion. You know, I'm a sucker for passion, let me tell you. Um,
but yeah,
when Julie talks about the soccer and like the mind game and like what looking at the ball and like how to how to bump it with the cart, the
the cart
my bad.
rode in like nothing.
I said cart because when you went to sports camp, they tied milk carts to your feet. You
Yeah,
remember
that's valid. That's valid.
the power soccer chair. Depend like you can manipulate,
With
control it,
the
manipulate
the strike
the
force.
strike for. Yeah, you can manipulate the touch, and it's really cool, dude. It's really cool.
Yeah, so it was fun talking to him. He broke down the misconception that people with disabilities, they cannot be athletes. And I think, again, like Steve, he was the perfect person to kind of bring on and break that down for
I
everybody.
mean, I mean, wheelchair basketball exists. Wheelchair, like all those sports are like,
There's a plethora of wheelchair sports, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like I wouldn't say like, like they're like not a myth. They're factual, but it's just like they're not. They're often not highlighted, or they're just grossly underrepresented
Right.
in like media. And it kind of sucks because these guys are out there doing the work, doing what they love, like not for the views or fame or anything, just for the love of the sport.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to watch him go at it and like, it'd be dope.
It'd be dope.
I mean, yeah, like I'd watch it. Would you?
Okay.
Yeah, man.
And then to get away from sports, we interviewed marine biologist
Oh
Sherry
yeah,
Bookstead
dude.
in our episode on empathy with a marine biologist. And that was really, really fun. That was a
Yeah.
nice kind of change of pace, I think.
Well, I got respect for her because she's out here going approaching healthcare facilities and healthcare workers and just teaching them about empathy, which is really important. And
Yeah,
sometimes we underestimate it. And
regardless
yeah,
whether you're disabled or not.
but I get it, because like I'm taking a human anatomy course and like I'm surrounded by like pre-med people and it's a lot of work. It's really stressful. And then me being a caretaker, sometimes I get a little jaded, I'll admit, you know, but like working in a hospital healthcare, it's very, very tiring. And like it's easy to get jaded. It's easy to just get numb to it. And gosh, empathy, it's
Empathy.
it's you shouldn't let negativity run your decisions.
Yeah, and you shouldn't let negativity dictate how you treat others.
Right. It's hard. It could be hard at times, but remember that it could be a lot harder if you let those negative thoughts like roll over
Right.
into work and then affect other people, right? Because you're there to help them, right? So, it's hard to stay, to have a straight face and keep going, but
Yeah.
you gotta do it.
I think the main thing we talked about with her was vulnerability and
Hmm.
the fact that, if you live with a disability, a lot of the times you're just innately more vulnerable than most people.
Right.
So I think in situations like that, especially, it's paramount for the caretaker, the care team, doctors, nurses to be able to express that empathy with you because you're already, as I said, I think most of the time in a more vulnerable state. And when you have to deal with people that just make your life more difficult when they're supposed to be making it easier, it just causes more problems.
Right. And then to bleed into a more recent episode of Sophia, you gotta be your own advocate.
That too.
You gotta, the healthcare, the healthcare providers or the nurses, they're there to help you. And it's not, you're not overstepping by being direct with them with what you need.
Over
Oh,
He never
oh,
learns.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait.
Over rotating, bro.
Over clicking. It's not. Don't think of it. Don't think of it as demanding or being rude or uh, being a burden, asking for what you need, right? Because you have to be your own advocate sometimes, and the only person that knows themselves best is yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
yourself. And if something's hurt, especially if you're contractors, you got to tell the lift team
Mhm.
at UCLA, yo, careful with my contractors. If you tweak me a little, it hurts a lot.
Yeah, my contractions. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. The more, you know, um, what's the word? The more vulnerable you are and the more direct you are, better results. Empathy.
Yeah. And I think a common factor that plays into all these that came up in all these episodes is just being able to communicate too.
Oh yeah, which I understand can be hard at times, but you gotta push through it.
Gotta live your
Yeah,
best life.
yeah. As an introvert, it can be a little hard sometimes.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yep. And then as you alluded to earlier, after the Sherry episode, we talked to my friend Kay Richmond, who is a certified recreation therapist. And yeah, she kind of broke down what is recreation therapy for us.
Oh,
And the myth we kind of talked about for that episode was um, the idea that when you live with a disability, there's a lot of discouragement you may find on a daily basis, right? But especially when it comes to the rehab process, I think a lot of people might overlook the role recreation therapy can play in your recovery. I know I did, and I think we touched on that in that episode, going back to my time recovering from my spinal fusion. And I
mhm.
got to go to the mall and go to GameStop and eat at like Wetzel's Pretzels.
Oh hell yeah,
It's
dude.
just the simple little things that you may not think will help you get back home or get back to where you were before, say, an injury. You can't overlook those things, like
It's
recreation therapy, it's therapy.
reminded me of the Karate Kid.
The Karate Kid.
Yeah, wax on, wax off. Sorry.
Can you elaborate?
Oh, well, it's the ping pong analogy she gave, where it's like, you're in a wheelchair, and you wouldn't think, oh, I can't play ping pong. And then you start off rolling the ball, and then, getting into it and overcoming that initial thought you had, and now you're playing ping pong, right? Who cares if people say it's ping pong,
Hell yeah.
right? So it's like wax on wax. I was like, why am I doing this? And it's just like, oh shoot, I know karate now. I mean, maybe that's like a stretch, but
For my philosophers out there, it's a lot like the myth of Sisyphus. You
oh
know,
yeah.
you can you can spend your whole life pushing the boulder up the hill for it to only fall back on you. And you might think, why am I doing this? Simply put, because you can. And there's a power in making that decision to keep on trying.
Oh yeah. And it's and then like physical therapy and like recreational therapy, even though I haven't done recreational therapy personally, I know you have,
Mhm.
but physical therapy helps a lot of people, and especially when I was dealing with like a wacky little back double nerve pinch injury. Couldn't turn my neck all the way. It sucked. And those guys helped me get through it.
Yeah.
Just them drilling it into me that like, oh, you can do it. What do you mean? Like, you'll get better. Well, don't worry about it. You got it. It's just
Yeah.
like simple things like that. Even though no matter how bad it might be, it's just the constant like reassurance and the constant like kindness. Like no matter how negative your thoughts is, like, oh no, I'm tweaked. It's over, right?
I'm tweaking.
And my back was tweaked, bro.
Yeah.
It's like no matter how bad those feelings are, they just every time you come in, it's like, oh hey, how are you doing today? How was your weekend? It's just like, oh yeah. Like, is that feeling better? Oh, we can do it easy. We
Yeah.
got you. It's
Mind
great.
over matter.
Oh yeah, mind over matter. It's great. It's great. Overcame. Here I am. You overcame. Here you are. Now we're here. Overcome.
Yeah. Moving on. How do we reach our full potential?
So I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? We had that whole PowerPoint.
Chris.
Benedict, aka
DJ! Oh!
ability.
DJ, JJ.
So yeah, for people that may have missed that episode, we talked with my friend Chris. He
Local.
is a local DJ in Santa Barbara. Really cool guy. And not only does he DJ, but he also is a public speaker. And he talked to us. He was so gracious to share his PowerPoint that he has that he shares with others during his, big events and talks, talking about how we can reach our full potential and how we can, as you said, overcome things like fear and pain and anxiety. And
Yeah.
that was that was a whole roller coaster of an episode because he covered so much material, covered so many different ideas that I had never really like spent time thinking about.
Yeah, don't shit on yourself.
Don't shit on
Don't shit
yourself,
on yourself, bro. And emotional infant, emotional adolescence,
right? There's a whole
Yeah.
scale of where you may lie maturationally speaking,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
emotionally speaking,
Yeah, and it's like no one's truly,
an adult.
an emotional adult. It's just it all comes down to how you deal with it,
Mhm.
which is how you deal with it the most responsibly, and it's hard,
One of the major takeaways too was that, as he said, fear is a liar, and that
Oh yeah.
if you can, get outside of your head and again find a good support system around you, spend time with others instead of by yourself in your room watching TV, as Molly, you and I both do a little too much sometimes,
Nah, dude, I'm Gen Z, dude. I'm watching YouTube.
watching YouTube, staying
Well,
home.
not as much these days, but oh, that is a little bit, not as much.
Yeah.
Uh, just mostly studying and going on walks, man.
Mhm.
But yeah, YouTube.
So a
Uh,
little less YouTube, a little more interacting with other people that'll get you right.
oh, for sure. Especially like after high school and you enter that crazy, like even post college and you enter that like adult world, it's very lonely, dude. It could be very lonely.
Yeah. Especially for people, with disabilities, they
Oh
may
yeah.
feel even more isolated than the average person.
Right. Which it's so important to have those programs, especially the trail on the beach,
Nature
a
Tracks.
nature track.
Yeah.
That's really cool if you want to promote that.
Yeah, Nature Tracks is really cool. They have programs every so often at the beach. They have one, I think, here at the Botanical Gardens since San Ynez. We should
Oh,
go check it out
they do.
sometime.
Oh, we should go out.
Yeah,
We
dude.
should head out. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
let's do it. We'll take the car, the
The
whip.
whip.
Yeah. Yes.
Not Gen Z at all.
No.
Speaking of Gen Z, I think we talked about that on that next episode with Jared on tackling stadium accessibility.
Again, I'm a huge fan of Passion. I love the way he spoke, dude. No bullshit, straight to the point. It's just like, yeah, this sucks, and I'm gonna tell you it sucks, and I'm gonna tell other people it sucks.
Yeah,
And it's like no frills, no fluff, just straight up like, yo, like this sucks.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good to hear that. Straight to the point, like, all right, Bungie, got
As
it.
I said,
Respect.
straight to the brick.
Yeah, yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, that was fun. And for those that may have missed that episode or want a little refresher, Jared talked with us about his experiences as a sports fan, going to different sports venues, the accessibility involved at those venues, the kind of hoops you have to go through to get what you need to
Yeah.
comfortably attend a game. And I think what we talked a lot about was that kind of disconnect between the higher ups at the stadiums and the people on the ground level
Hmm.
in, providing the accommodations we need.
Yeah, but that empathy, the people on the ground are like
To
preventing
keep,
they're preventing so many lawsuits and bullshit. Dude, they're out here doing God's work. It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's like you said, you got to get that human element.
Oh yeah.
And 9 out of 10 times, I think they're more than willing to help you according to what he told us. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
How crazy ticket prices are, especially Super Bowl ticket, dude. Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh.
Didn't we talk about that? Did we look that up? I forget.
Yeah, I do. Like next year, if Taylor Swift's performing halftime, ain't nobody going. Ain't no, not that people won't go. It's just like regular people won't be able to afford it. It's gonna be like an Oscars Grammy situation where it's
I
just
mean,
like,
I've
dude,
I've never met anybody personally in my life that's gone to Super Bowl. So,
yeah, I'm trying to save up for a house, bro, for a new car, dude, for a new pair of shoes, man, for tomorrow's lunch, bro. I don't got Super Bowl money. You know, the only bowl I'm buying is a bowl of soup.
again, our PO box is.
No, hey, wait.
But yeah, so had a blast talking with Jared. Shout out to him. And then I think we wrapped up the
What about
season.
positively paralyzed?
Shout out to Positively
We
Paralyzed.
should reshare their socials, get it out there.
Yeah, we
I want
definitely
to
will.
promote these guys. They're all great people.
I'll try and tag everybody on this,
You
when it
better.
comes out. Yeah.
We should. Yeah, hell yeah.
And then we wrapped up the season with Sophia Lee Park in our discussion on advocacy to kind
Oh,
of tie everything together.
oh my. We stay up quite late at times just talking about that.
Yeah.
And I'll admit sometimes I'm a little guilty. Maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I could do more because there's so much craziness going on in the world,
Yeah.
and it's so hard to. Oh man, it's advocacy is kind of a thing that we both promote and we both do, even if it's at a local scale. But
Every little bit counts. It's
it's a wild topic,
it's like Sophia said, you're an advocate in your own right.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to be on the ground, troops on the ground kind of advocate like we
No.
talked about. I think what we had mentioned was advocacy gets pigeonholed a lot with mass movements and politics and government. But
Yeah.
what gets overlooked is, as you just said, everyday advocates on the local level that are doing what they can to spread awareness and inf inform others that may not be aware, right?
Mhm.
Like kind of like what we do.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
Just talking about it.
we don't have a huge following by any means.
No, but it's something,
But we
right?
have we have
People care.
a group of people that care about, I think, what we say.
I'd hope
And
so.
that's the whole point of this episode is to put out this information for those that care, be a resource for people that are looking to learn more about those with disabilities and our experiences and the whole point of the podcast to kind of bridge that gap in understanding between those with disabilities and those that do not have disabilities or have as much experience with people with disabilities.
Hmm.
So,
And then part two, general discussion.
yeah, I was kind of running out of that creative juice for like episode names at that point.
Oh
End
yeah.
of the season, trying to pump out episodes
Dude,
and
we just need a break sometimes, dude.
yeah, yeah.
Life gets a little hectic, especially this time of year. Like over here, midterms, like spring has sprung.
And I have not sprung
I'm flopping.
like a fish.
I'm spring flopping.
Yeah. So I'm gonna enjoy this little break, work on the radio program like I mentioned earlier.
Oh, and then hitting up some new guests, seeing what we got. Maybe some recurring ones. You don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
As
go for it.
always, if you know someone that you think would be a good person to have on our show, let us know. Get us in touch. If you are one, get us in touch. We like I said earlier, our DMs are always open. We're always looking for new people and new perspectives. And we really enjoy the show. It's kind of been a big part of our weekly routine the past several months. And
Wow, it's
yeah,
yeah, it's wild to believe that we started this in August.
yeah, just, every week getting together, talking on whether it's Discord or in person, planning out episodes, outlining, reaching out to guests.
Dude, we're 5 months out
Yeah, it's crazy.
for until another August. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
5 months. Oh wow, a little bit over a year. Wow.
Yep. But the grind don't stop.
And I don't stop. It never stops. We keep grinding, bro.
So so we will be back. We're not exactly sure when yet.
But we're coming back.
We're coming back. Guess who's back?
Back rumor.
She's back.
Rumor. Don't run.
So, any final thoughts, bro? Anything you'd like to say to the people in the back?
In the back.
Oh yeah, it's just a bed behind us.
Yeah, in the back. Ain't nobody back there. No, I don't know. I'm excited.
Me too, me
Happy.
too. Stay tuned for season 3.
Stay tuned for season 3. I can't do that deep voice anymore. My head hurts.
His coffee wore off.
No, I haven't had coffee today, actually. I haven't had a drip nor an ounce of caffeine today. I'll have believe it or not. This is all natural, baby. For better or for worse. Well, you see me on caffeine too. A little crazy. A little crazy. But anyway,
All
like,
right.
share, subscribe.
Heck yeah. Turn those notifications on. If you liked what we had to say today, do us that favor of leaving us a rating, nice little review on Apple Podcasts if you're feeling so inclined. And as Udi mentioned, be sure to share with your friends and family.
Whee!
If you're not already, be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at The Disability Myth, all one word.
Where?
Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube,
At
The Disability Myth,
hell yeah.
all one word. And once again, thank you so much for all your support. You're really all. You're all.
You're
This is why we're taking a break.
Dominic.
Uriel,
Dominic.
Uriel and I are learning and growing every day because of this podcast, because of this show, because of your enthusiasm for learning and listening to us. So we just want to make sure that we thank you for your support. And yeah, I guess that's a wrap on season 2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before this guy explodes,
What? Oh,
we'll
hey.
we're gonna sign off and we'll see you real soon. And peace and love, and may the force be with you.
Bye. Stop, bro. Turn it off. Whoa, whoa, whoa.